men's group on Tuesdays. So
he's a Christian? Oh, I should have been nicer. No, I'm just kidding.
I think he may be, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Morning, Daniel.
Morning.
All right, guys. Well, let's get started. It is 6:30. Sorry, 6:30. I'll look at my phone to know what the date is. It's October 12th, 2024. You have arrived at First Fruits. Welcome. We are reading the Bible like we do every day, Monday through Saturday, 6:30 to 7 a.m. Mountain Time. And this morning we are in the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verses 8 through 15. I'll pray and then we'll read. Lord, thanks for this beautiful morning. Thank you for our rest. Quiet our minds, Lord. Soften our hearts today. For this word, teach us this morning. Okay, so chapter 2, verses 8 through 15. So I want the men in every place to pray, lifting up holy hands without anger or dispute. Likewise, the women are to dress in suitable apparel, with modesty and self-control. Their adornment must not be with braided hair and gold or pearls or expensive clothing, but with good deeds, as is proper for women who profess reverence for God. A woman must learn quietly with all submissiveness. I do not allow a woman to teach or exercise authority over a man. She must remain quiet. For Adam was formed first and then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman, because she was fully deceived, fell into transgression. But she will be delivered through childbearing if she continues in faith and love and holiness with self-control. All right, who would like to take another pass at this one?
Okay. I desire then in every place the men should pray, lifting holy hands without anger or quarreling. Likewise also that women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel with modesty and self-control, not with braided hair and gold or pearls or costly attire, but with what is proper for women who profess godliness, with good works. Let a woman learn quickly with all submissiveness. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she remain quiet. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman was deceived, and became a transgressor. Yet she will be saved through childbearing, if they continue faith and love and holiness with self-control.
All right. You guys want to do one more reading, or are we good with two?
I'm okay with two.
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I should read it. I'll read it once. That's okay.
Sure.
I just want to see what it says. What's the verses again?
It's 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8 through 15.
Okay, thanks. Remember that Jesus, this is New King James Version. Remember that Jesus Christ of the seed of David.
I think you might maybe in the wrong spot. Are you in 1 Timothy or 2nd?
Oh my gosh. My
First
pages
Timothy.
are... Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm just like...
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, verse 2:8. Oh, there it is. I desire, therefore, that the men pray everywhere. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. In like manner also that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel with propriety and moderation, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly clothing, but which is proper for women professing godliness with good works. Let a woman learn in silence with all submission. I'm not laughing, but let a woman learn in silence with all submission. And I do not permit a woman to teach or have authority over a man, but to be in silence. For Adam was formed first, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman, being deceived, fell into transgression. Nevertheless, she will be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, love, and holiness with self-control. I'm so not this person,
All right.
but I'm listening.
Thanks for reading that. This is a pretty interesting reading, isn't it? Where's Tamika? You need some more you need some more support. I feel like, yeah.
I just don't want to put it on mute yet. I was just
Carolyn, please don't talk. Just sit there and listen.
You're not my husband. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's a very interesting paragraph because culturally things have changed hugely, but biblically you're supposed to accept the word of the Lord in these books for what they say, and it's just it's a rough thing to swallow.
The one time that I could not get off of mute when I was driving and I had to listen the whole time, I learned something. I was like, oh, they're figuring it out. And I just find it hard but I don't want to sit on mute. This is a Bible study. I mean, but I'm listening. I was just thinking that yesterday. I was like, Tamika's always on mute. And I'm like, why does she do that? And then what is the scripture today? And then I was also thinking, I honestly was thinking this before I read this, that some men, that because they're the head of the household, and if they're in authority, they're the head of who they're authoritative over. But we'll talk to other women as if they're the head of them. Like, because I'm single, and I will talk to some men that will tell me that I should submit to. And then I also think some women expect men to do everything their husband should be from, like, they're single. Oh, can you fix this for me? Can you fix that for me? And I was thinking, where does that line, where's the boundary there? And what is honorable to God? So maybe you guys have ideas, and I'll just listen.
Well, I think about, there was a reading we did recently, how men and women, husbands and wives should treat each other. It was, I think, the previous book, maybe Galatians, maybe, I'm not sure, but it was basically how believers should conduct themselves in relationships. And it talked about a man towards his wife, and the wife towards the husband. It talked about parents towards their children. It talked about kids towards their parents. It talked about bondservants and master relationship. And the one thing that I remember about the husband and wife relationship is that wives should submit to their husbands. They're the spiritual leaders in the home. And the husbands should lay down their lives for their wives, like Jesus died for us.
Can I look up the definition of submit? Because what was coming to mind is submitting on the traffic. Like the yield should yield. You obey those rules, and that's submitting to the traffic rules. So I sometimes I don't like it when I see a woman just totally passive and quiet, and a marriage, and he's telling her what to do, and you don't see it very often anymore. But I see submit as everyone's in the traffic, but you're okay. Can I just look it up really quick and just see?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I actually like that. I like that analogy while you're looking that up, the idea of yielding to another person. There are certain times where it makes, a man should yield to his wife, and at other times where a wife should yield to their husbands. It's like kind of like traffic rules, I guess. It makes sense.
Let's get Daniel's opinion, because he's the only one that's not married but about to.
Oh, congratulations.
How do you and Helen work this out, Daniel?
Oh, wow.
Or have you yet?
Can you say yes, dear?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can and have. But she always tags on the line. But you do what you want. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
I'm like,
Don't fall for it.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
No.
Uh-oh. And I'm like, yeah, I felt that too. Like,
She means it. She means do what you want. She just wants you to hear what she has to say.
yeah. The stuff she challenges me on, though, is like, that's a good point. She makes good points all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like,
that's what I think healthy submission is.
Yeah.
Like being able to say something, but then submit. Oh, like it says, accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. Mm-hmm. The original settlers were forced to submit to Bulgarian rule. I don't know what that meant, but I just want to, I'm single. I've never been married. I was in the military, and 6 girls and 1 younger brother. I've always wished I was somebody like the Bible's talking about here, but I've just never, I just never, I don't know. But when you see a woman like that, you just fall in love with her. I mean, when you see somebody that's just, you'll see a wife that's just quiet, gentle spirit, but the kids are all clean and organized and behave, and they're just happy together, and the husband's not overbearing. I see it. I don't.
Yeah. I grew up not quite under that model, but around a lot of families that were under that model. And in some cases, they went a little too far, and daddy is the head of the house, and we will do everything he decides. And it's like, oh, okay. Even so far as to, yeah, we don't vote. We just trust that dad's ballot is enough to cover all of us. It's like, are you sure? Whereas I've seen the not the exact opposite, but the healthy contrast to that, which is, yes, the wife submits, but the husband wants her input so badly, and he's like, I need your help. I need your input. I need your advice.
Exactly.
So if the guy can recognize that he can't do this on his own, and God even says that it's not good for man to be alone.
Yeah. I'm so independent and stubborn, and I don't know why. But it's not good for man to be alone. I'm 63 and I've never been married. And maybe I have to be in this Bible study before I figure it out.
No. What do you guys think of verse 13, 14, 15? Those verses stood out to me, and I think because I didn't understand. I'm not understanding what Paul's saying here in those verses.
Well, back in the day, the firstborn had huge rights
Okay.
over everybody else in the family. And I think that's what he's alluding to, is that Adam was firstborn, so to speak.
Interesting.
I mean, they made a point on the prodigal son story that the firstborn gets 2 shares of the inheritance, and the prodigal son that left only gets 1 share, and it's strictly because the other one was the firstborn. And I think that's the point he's making. It back then it weighs huge because you're numero uno.
Okay. So Adam was formed first and then Eve. Okay, so because he was the firstborn, he receives the benefits of the firstborn. And then in verse 14 it says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman, because she was fully deceived, fell into transgression. So he's talking about the whole situation with the fruit and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. How she was deceived by the serpent, picked the fruit, took a bite, gave it to Adam. He took a bite.
And Adam said, sure, I'll have a bite.
And then when God said, what happened? He said, the woman made me do it.
He did not. See, now that's why I'm saying he made his own choice.
Right, exactly. So
yeah,
it's
they
interesting.
Always downplay the guy, and the guy had the same instructions that the gal did, and don't eat this fruit. And she got deceived and she ate it, and she handed it to him, and he said, oh sure, I'll have a bite too, thank you very much. But they certainly downplay that that second bite.
Right.
But they'll say the second Adam, because I think if Adam would have gone to the Lord and said, she has sinned, and he had not sinned yet. And if he had just gone to the Lord and started listening to her, I don't know.